Hey, it's Tony Bruschi. All this weekend, we are taking a look back at some of the most compelling testimony from the trial of Lori Vallow Daybell. Enjoy. Good morning. We are taking your calls about, horrible people. So you can weigh in 24/7, and we may use your call on a future episode of the program. The phone number, 888-5-KILLER, 888-5-KILLER.
The Hit Killers Podcast, Murder in the Morning.
That indeed is what this is. Every day on our podcast feed, we're going to be giving you Murder in the Morning. Little update, something you can listen to drive to work or wherever you're going, maybe just at your counter as you walk across the kitchen to your computer to work, as many of us do these days. We're going to take a look at the stories that we're following for you in great detail. Have some interviews, have some conversation, let you guys weigh in as well. Tony and Stacy Cole with you here on Murder in the Morning from the Hidden Killers podcast. I want to go to some phone calls here, and we'll start it out that way because we're not going to give you weather and breaking.
Right?
Sunny and 75 today. Let's go to one of our first callers and take a listen. If you want to weigh in, 888-5-KILLER is the phone number. Again, 888-554-5537. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah.
Hey, Tony. Bob Sacramento in Charlotte, North Carolina. One theory I've had for a while about the dogs and the Satterfield fall on the steps is that she was coming to the house in order to get payment for work that was being done on Alex's parents' home. Perhaps when she arrived, Maggie, who has never been painted in a good light, we've not really heard much things positive about her. Perhaps when Gloria arrived to get paid, Maggie said, "I'm not paying you one nickel." And there was some sort of scuffle or skirmish, if you will. Surely when you listen to the 911 call, you can tell there's no sorrow in her voice whatsoever. She doesn't even know what her birth date is or how old she is when she's talking to the 911 operator, and she's known her for 20 years. One would think she would be saying the dog's knocked over. Not to mention, labs are very attentive animals. They sense sorrow and misery. If somebody was falling on the ground and that person was well known by the dogs, those dogs would be super concerned all over the place in the background, barking and chirping. So I think she pushed her. I think there was some scuffle, and they made up the dog story, obviously, to cover up some type of physical activity that happened. That's my theory. You may already have that from someone else. Just wanted to share it.
It's an interesting theory to think about. Murdaugh himself is now coming out. Obviously, take it for what it's worth. It's Alex Murdaugh, and saying that he lied about it. He lied about it to get the insurance money. And now, because of that lie, he's saying that they should be trying to take the money, not from him, but the insurance company should try and recover it from the Satterfield family. So even from jail,
feel weird. This
man is like causing chaos and still trying to destroy lives. Yeah, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. What is possible? It
feels inappropriate. It feels like adding insult to injury and then pouring, lemon juice over the wound is how I'm seeing that.
Completely. He mentioned the 911 call. I have it right here. Let's take a listen to the 911 call because it is interesting about Maggie, and I'm not trying to speak ill of the dead, but I don't know, this is someone who thought Alec Murdaugh was a good idea for many, many, many years. So you have to question a little bit going, well, how good of a person was she if she's connecting her, boat to Alec Murdaugh for all of her life with the horrible things that he was able to pull off? You have to assume she probably knew a little bit more than we were aware of. Let's take a listen to that 911 call. It is kind of disturbing.
9:24 a.m. 38 seconds, February 2, 2018.
Come here. 911, where's your emergency? 4147 Moselle Road. Okay, can you give me the address one more time, make sure I got it right? Yes, 4147
Bozell Road.
Okay, what's going on out there?
I'm sorry?
What's going on out there?
My housekeeper has fallen and her head is bleeding. I cannot get her up.
Okay, you said she's fallen. She's bleeding from the head?
Yes.
Okay. How old is she?
I'm not sure, like 58 maybe.
Keep in mind, this had been the housekeeper for like 20-some years. Helped raise the kids, and I don't know, 58 or something.
You're not?
No.
Where'd she fall from?
She fell going up the steps, up the brick steps.
Okay, so she outside or inside?
Outside.
Okay. How many steps is there?
8.
Okay, is she on the ground or is she up near the
She's
top?
on the ground. She's on the ground.
Is she conscious?
No, not really.
No.
Is she awake at all?
Yes.
Okay. Is she just not, like, responding appropriately, but she is awake?
Man, she's not responding.
Okay, I've already got them on the way. Me asking questions does not slow them down, man. Knowing if she's conscious is one of the things that the medic needs to know. If she's responding at all to you.
No.
Okay, so she's not responsive at all.
Well, I mean, she's mumbling.
Okay, so she is somewhat conscious.
It's amazing how dumb she seemed to be about this. Well, no, she's not. Well, she's mumbling. Like, is she conscious or not? Is she just tell her what's going on?
Well, it seems like she's being cagey about it.
Very.
Like, these are questions that you're supposed to ask, especially if somebody's been injured or is sick. You need this information for the paramedics.
Yeah. If you don't have it, they're not
It's a
going to.
problem.
Yeah.
They need to know what they're coming into. So for her to be like, why do you want to know that? I mean, that's kind of the feeling I'm getting from it.
I'm hearing Alec through her almost, like this attitude that goes on.
Is she breathing okay?
Yes.
Is she bleeding from anywhere?
Yes, her head.
Okay, are you guys able to control the bleeding?
No.
Can you put a clean rag or anything on it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, is she bleeding from, like, her face, the back of the head?
I've got an ambulance coming. Sir, my name what?
Where exactly is she bleeding from on her head?
I'm not sure. At the top of her head.
Okay.
What's it?
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
What happened?
She just fell back down. Can I get off this phone so I can go down there?
Can I have your name and phone number? Or are you able to bring the phone down by her?
What?
Or are you on a cell phone where you can walk down there
I'm
and
on
talk?
a cell phone. No.
Okay, can you bring it with you so we can ask her some questions about what kind of pain she's having?
It's interesting. It seemed like it was a bridge too far to ask her to take the cell phone
Right?
close to her.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you ask the patient what kind of pain she's having?
Ma'am, she can't talk.
Okay. Do you know?
She's cracked her head and there's blood on the concrete and she's bleeding out of her left ear.
Okay, she's bleeding out of her ear.
And out of her head. She's cracked her skull.
Okay. All right. The other lady said that she had tried to stand up and fell down again.
No, I was holding her up. And
Okay.
she told me to turn her loose and she was trying to use her arm, but then she fell back over.
Okay. Do you guys know who she is?
Yes, she works for us.
Okay. Do you know if she's ever had a stroke or anything before?
Man, can you stop asking her this question?
I already have them.
These are important questions, Tony. I can't take it.
Does not slow them down in any way.
Because these are horrible people.
Oh my God.
I mean, granted, they're both dead. All three are dead, but they weren't good humans.
These are, oh my God. Can you hear the frustration in my voice?
Yeah. I mean, these are entitled. Yeah. I mean, there's just so much wrong with the whole group.
Okay. These are relevant questions that I have to ask for the ambulance. One of my questions is, has she ever had a stroke?
I don't believe she's ever had a stroke, not that I know
Okay. Okay, is she able to talk to you guys at all, or is she unconscious now?
She's not unconscious. She's just mumbling.
Okay.
I believe she's maybe hit her head and maybe has a concussion or something.
Okay.
You believe she maybe hit her head and has a concussion?
She's bleeding out of her ear. Yeah.
You just said she fell down the stairs and hit her head. You believe she may, like, this is, I don't know. I mean, it's like, you can feel like there's people in the background here as they're trying to come up with this story. And what are we going to say? How are we going to say it? And everyone's trying to get on the same page while on the 911 call.
I just, these dispatchers at the 911 centers, the crap they have to deal with is astounding. And they deal with everybody thinking that they're legitimately calling in an emergency situation, that there's no crime. It's just, we need to get these people some help. And this person is asking the right questions. They're concerned about somebody who is down.
Yeah.
These are all legit.
Yeah. Well, not to the Murdaughs.
Do you know what her name is?
Gloria Satterfield.
You said Sanderfield?
Ma'am?
You said Sanderfield?
Satterfield.
Satterfield. Okay, what's the house look like out there?
It's offset off the road.
Okay.
It's a big house, got a wide driveway.
With a long driveway?
Yeah.
Is there a gate or anything down there that they're going to need to come through?
There's two big brick columns that have to come through.
Okay, but there's no, gate code or anything that they need?
No, ma'am. And tell them that they can look for a fellow on a 656 Ranger.
Okay.
Waiting on them in the road is green. You know what they probably know what the Ranger looks like.
Yeah. You said
Fella's
green.
got on a black sweater, a hat, and pants.
Okay. All right. If something changes with her, if she loses consciousness or anything like that, I need one of you guys to call me back right away, okay?
Okay, well, how long is it going to take? Because this take us...
That I don't know. I've had them on the way since Maggie first called me. They were toned right away.
Okay.
All right, but I think they're coming... Hang on 1 minute. Let me check. They're coming from somewhere on Belt Highway in Ruffin, okay? That's where their station is.
Thank you.
All right, but like I said, if something changes, call me back.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm just the flippantness of the whole thing. If this is someone that is, that special to you and has been in your life for that long, and it's like, well, you fell, I think.
Well, and I think we've talked about this before in other podcasts that we've done, but have you ever had to call 911? You have, right?
Yeah.
For me, and I'm just speaking from my own experience, I was quite frantic because it was an emergency, and you could hear, I'm sure in my voice, the panic and the fear. And I don't get any of that from this caller. And I know everybody's different, but this just feels very off.
I'd love to know what exactly happened. If it's not the dogs, which it may have been the dogs. Just because Alec is now saying it's not the dogs doesn't mean it was not the dogs. It means Alec has found a way to scheme and try and keep money or get more money is what that's all about. It doesn't necessarily mean that what he's saying is factual or remotely true. But there's just something off about the whole thing. We'll probably never know because they're dead. But yeah. I don't know. That whole family, every element of that family, I mean, it's just, yeah. Yeah, the one that was the big ringleader of it, I believe. But I think, you stick around and you're with people like that, they rub off on you. And if this is who you are, this is where you came from, it would be very difficult not to have some sort of element of deceit or sliminess to you. If you are the spouse or the child of Alec Murdaugh, I think that would be almost impossible. You can, get away from it if you want, but I think at the time in these situations, all of them there was, just a darkness, that a cloud that always followed them around.
Yeah, like Pigpen from Charlie Brown, just this feeling of there's something going on there.
Yeah, without a doubt. 888-5-KILLER is our phone number, 888-554-5537. If you want to weigh in on any of the cases that we're following for you right here, we would love to hear your voice. May play back on a future episode of the program. I'm Tony Bruschi for Stacey Cole. Stay with us.